The American weekend officially begins on Friday evening, but already by Friday morning, there are signs that the weekend is just around the corner. You see fewer cars on the highways, and the buses and the subways are less crowded with people too. This is because some people take a day off on Friday to have a 3-day weekend. Things are also different at work. People don't wear the same clothes as they wear on weekdays. They dress themselves more casually. For instance, managers in the office may put on casual sports clothes instead of coats and ties. Some people put on blue jeans. This trend toward easy Fridays is popular with employees who normally wear uniforms to work. In Los Angeles, for example, bus drivers are usually dressed in military-style jackets, hats, and trousers. Recently, however, they have received permission to wear polo shirts and baseball caps on Fridays. Transportation officials believe that this new Friday dress code is good for the driver's morale, and they are also sure that the passengers won't mind just as long as the buses run on time. In many American families, it is common for both parents to have full-time jobs even when they have little children. But if both mom and dad are gone all day, who on earth takes care of the kids? In quite a few homes, the nanny does. And a long time ago, only rich people could afford to have a nanny. Nannies were usually middle-aged and married women who were strict with the children. They insisted on their children behaving themselves at all times. They insisted on their children's behaving themselves at all times, or strict with the children. These days, however, many middle-class families have college students to work as nannies. Usually, these people who take care of children are young women, but some young men do this type of work too. Often nannies live with the family, and the children grow up to love them very much. These live-in jobs appeal to college students because they don't have to spend money on rent or food. Sometimes foreign students take jobs as nannies, hoping such work will help them improve their English skills. There is one problem, though. Because they spend so much time playing and talking with little children, most of the English they learn is baby talk. So, 対があるのです。After having lived for over 20 years in the same district, after having lived for over 20 years in the same district, Albert was forced to move to a new place. His landlord was taken aback to hear he was leaving because he couldn't afford to buy any more chocolate. His landlord was taken back to hear he was leaving. Because he couldn't afford to buy any more chocolate. It all began a year ago. As Albert returned home one evening, he found a large dog in front of his gate. He was fond of animals, and as he happened to have a small piece of chocolate in his pocket, he gave it to the dog. He was fond of animals, and as he happened to have a small piece of chocolate in his pocket, he gave it to the dog. The next day, the dog was there again. It held up its paw and received another piece of chocolate as a reward. Albert called his new friend Bingo. He failed to discover the dog's real name or who his owner was. He failed to discover the dog's real name or who his owner was. However, Bingo never failed to appear regularly every afternoon, and it was very clear that he preferred chocolate to buns. However, Bingo never failed to appear regularly every afternoon, and it was very clear that he preferred chocolate to buns. Soon the dog was not satisfied with small pieces. Pieces of chocolate, and demanded a large bar every day. If at any time Albert neglected his duty, Bingo got very angry and didn't let him open the gate. He was now at the mercy of Bingo and had to brave him to get into his own house. He was now at the mercy of Bingo and had to bribe him to get into his own house. As he had to spend such a large part of his weekly wages to supply Bingo with chocolate, he moved somewhere else.